Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 65. We will be talking about the latest episode of Once Upon a Time. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm Ghost of Allison on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm Mind Your Helm on Tumblr. Happy Doctober.
That was perfect.
Okay, so we have a new charming episode to discuss.
Yay!
Is it really? Did you like it?
Yay. No credit.
I loved this episode, even though poor Charming got played again, and it upsets me.
I have a reason for that, okay? Because Charming has a blind side when it comes to bros.
He's just so starved for male friends.
He's so desperate for bros. He has a blind side with them.
You know, I always enjoy a Charming centric simply for the fact he doesn't get a lot of screen time compared to everybody else.
Ladies.
He doesn't get a lot of as much development as he should. So it was good to see him. It was good to see the effect that all this crap has been having on him, because so far, even though we're only 3 episodes in, we've gotten a lot of the stress on Hook's part, on Regina's part, but we haven't seen a lot with Snowing. They're kind of in the background, and now we finally get to see the effect of what has happened with Emma is having on Charming, especially because he's her father, and even though she's grown, she's always going to be his little girl, and he feels so helpless, like he can't.
Well, that scene, I loved it, and I hated it, and it broke my heart when and Emma is definitely her daddy's little girl.
Yes.
Like, they're so alike. I love it.
At the same time, I feel it hurts me to see that, because he's like, as soon as he walked in, it was like he had heart eyes going the whole time, like, castle, round table, Excalibur, Arthur, oh my god, I'm in heaven, and yet now he's being totally played. I feel so bad.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
But Arthur stands for all of ostensibly all of Charming's ideals. So the fact that Arthur is giving him the time of day is bound to go to his head a little bit, I think.
Man, let's face it. It would be like if Colin gave us the time of day and wanted to go on an adventure with us, or Fred Dalton gave me the time of day and wanted to go on an adventure with me. I'd be all hard eyes all the time. I'd be like, yay, hi, Brent.
Can we please make fun of the fact that it's almost like they're Super Mario Brothers going after a mushroom?
Actually, can we talk about the fact that Josh Dallas has been like, oh, Charming is at its most heroic, and what he ended up doing was going after a magic mushroom and failing? How is that his most heroic?
He didn't fail. Arthur stole it.
Yeah, but he failed. He doesn't have it.
I don't think that comment may be meant for this episode, because if we saw the promo stills for next episode, so whatever he's gonna face off Arthur.
Yeah, and he jousted with a truck.
Exactly, yeah. Modern jousting. He's done that. He's awesome.
You know what's confusing me is his primary goal is to reunite both pieces of the sword, and he feels that he needs Merlin to do this. He's afraid if you notice, when he knighted Charming, the sword was not out of its scabbard. He's too afraid to show anybody that the sword
isn't complete. He can't.
That was funny.
Yeah, he can't because his whole claim to the throne is based on pulling Excalibur out of the stone.
Right, so if he needs Merlin that badly... If he needs Merlin,
know that the sword isn't whole are Gwynble, and 2 of them are gone.
But if he needs Merlin that badly to help him reunite the 2 pieces of the sword, why would he keep the mushroom, which is his only way of talking to Merlin and getting him out of that fucking tree?
I think there's more to this.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces we don't have yet.
And I get that he's afraid that they're going to use they're going to use it to
Because I don't think
the Dark One
Merlin.
instead of aiding him. I get that he
I
doesn't
don't-
trust them.
I don't think Merlin wants the sword for the sword hole for the same reason that Arthur wants the sword hole.
Yeah, I don't think I'm.
I think
now that
Merlin's
we,
got his own agenda.
Well, now that we have announced that Arthur is shady, hooray! Yay! We were right.
Much surprise.
I do not.
Shock.
Everything that comes out of his mouth is just could be a lie. Everything, you don't know if he talked to Merlin at all about a prophecy. You don't know where he got this prophecy from.
Yeah, he's Shady McShaderson.
Yeah.
Much surprise. Such shock.
I'm just gonna say it. I really hope Gwen isn't as shady as him, because I want a POC woman on this show who's not a villain.
As long as Lancelot's not a villain, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another thing
We're gonna get
that
Lancelot
he
and
seems
Gwen in
incredibly
here next week.
screwed up. That
Well,
Charming would sooner believe Shadyson, who he's only known for a couple of days, over Lancelot, who was single-handedly responsible for saving his wife's life
And married
giving him
him.
the opportunity to have his baby girl. Was without Lancelot, Emma would never have even been born.
I say we wait until we watch.
But here, wait, there's a problem because Charming didn't know that Snow got cursed with the potion. Like, Charming didn't know that. All he knows is that, she announced that they were having a girl, and then that Lancelot married them. Because remember, he asked, "Well, what are you talking about?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Nothing."
But Lancelot's was in the pilot. He was in the pilot at the Round Table, so he was part of their little, army.
No.
Yes,
No,
he
he
was.
wasn't.
Yes, he was. And
couldn't
who's
have
sitting
been.
at the Round Table?
That's a different table.
No. In the pilot, when they were get the wardrobe ready, you could see Lancelot there. I saw him.
Well, it clearly wasn't Sneakle Walls, so it couldn't have been Lancelot.
I have to look at it again.
Because Single Wolf
Where
was
it
in
was.
Teen Wolf at that time.
The only ones that were at the table was Snow, Charming, Granny, Leroy,
And Red.
Archie,
Yeah, and Red.
and Red.
Well, Archie was a cricket.
Mm,
And Gepetto.
I'm looking.
Oh, and of course Blue Fairy.
Well, yeah, because Shady Blue has to be there.
Okay, so Anonymous wants to know, did you guys like the episode? Honest opinion. Also, Team Lancelot all the way. Are you Team Lancelot?
Yes, Team Lancelot.
Also, who else was like when Charming was like, yes, it's the greatest love story ever. I'm like, yeah, Lancelot and Guinevere is the greatest love story ever.
I was like, are you totally discounting yourself in Snow, Charming?
Hey, he was, bro.
Actually, when he referred to it as the greatest love story ever, I was like, what?
That's
book did
Captain
you read?
Swan. What are you talking about?
No, I was like, what book did you read? Because in like almost every version of the Arthurian tale, this love story ends in
Adultery,
one
betrayal,
person-
and death?
adultery, betrayal, and death. One of them dies. The whole kingdom goes to war and falls apart.
Yes.
Lancelot has to marry somebody else to keep his head from being chopped off.
Or he gets
Guinevere
Spanish.
never has any children. So
Yeah, he either has to marry somebody else or get banished.
Yeah, and then Arthur has a kid with his sister.
that he may or may not have actually known about, and Guinevere is barren. So, what story are you reading? But then again, in this world, all the stories are kind of
Happy?
skewed.
Well, maybe Camelot's to them is like their stories are to us. That the real story isn't what gets passed down through legend. So the story that Charming's heard isn't what actually happened. It's some twisted, sanitized version of it.
I will say this much though, that at the knighting that whole thing. My emotions were very mixed. On the one hand, I was really proud of him. I had a big smile because I knew how much that this meant to Charlie to feel like he was a part of something, like he was doing something useful, But on the other hand, knowing what I know about Arthur, I was like, this is not going to end well. And then you can see Hook off in the corner there, like
Clapping with his one
Hook,
hand.
And also,
He did not look happy.
He's like,
the fact
yeah,
that-
not impressed. Whatever.
the fact that it's extra shady. The fact that he gave him an Lancelot share. That's just extra shady. Yeah.
I
Yes.
couldn't hear you at some point.
Oh, I said that it was extra shady that he gave him Lancelot's share with what happened to Lancelot.
Mm-hmm.
What's shady is the fact that he gave this man, who he's only known for a couple days, the Perilous seat, who is supposed to be his most trusted knight. You've only known this guy for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Does that not seem a little shady to you?
That's what I said.
I know, like he killed a guy based off of he might tell a lie. God, he's gonna kill Snow White.
Not only that, but on the mission that they went on, when Charming crossed the bridge to get the toadstool, Charming almost got killed by those undead knights, and it was like,
Yeah, he summoned those.
Where did Arthur go? I think he just disappeared. Like, wow. Talk about some great help there, dude.
I honestly think that he didn't want Charming to survive.
It's possible.
No, he did, because he needed them.
Yeah, he needed that mushroom, but I think he summoned those zombies, so he needed him to trust him.
No, I think the zombies were enchanted. Were an enchanted part of the bog that if you try to cross it, they attack you on the way back.
Yeah, probably, but and he saved them.
Like the previous people who tried.
But I think they still needed a point where Arthur and him became closer, even though they were on a mission. I think they needed a way to get close. How would that happen if those zombies did not come?
No, honestly, I think that he saved them for the sole reason of having Charming trust him.
Yep.
So you could see him outside the water. You could see him linger there for a minute, where we were like, "Is he gonna save him or not?" kind of deal. And then he finally reaches into the bog and grabs him. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Can we talk about the other bromance in this episode?
Captain Hood.
Okay, we have a question from Anonymous. What did you think of the Hook and Robin scenes in this episode?
More, please.
That shit
was awesome.
Was funny.
It was really funny.
I get that Robin is not exactly as adept with technology as Hook has become. But his phrase for talking about what the sonogram was is a picture up inside Zelina.
Whoa, mate.
Was priceless. I'm like, oh my
god.
Hook was like, whoa. That's not something I want to see.
Unfortunately, Hook does not understand the phrase TMI. Because if he did, that would have been totally appropriate there.
Is it really true that sonogram picture
was green?
Was green?
Yes, it was.
So the baby has magic?
Or it was just a trick of the light. Just to show that it's Wicked's baby, I guess.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But
also, the expression on Hook's face when Robin said, "Oh, your complicated love life," and he just went, "Ha ha," and he just died right there.
I get why the two of them would talk, because they both understand, like they're both coming kind of from the same place, that their love lives are complicated, that they have things going on that they don't quite have answers for right now, but they're still trying to figure things out. Like, Hook understands, instead of going, baby picture, I don't want, he understood that, this was a complicated thing for Robin. Robin wants to, he obviously as a father loves this baby, regardless of who the mother is, but at the same time, he's got to deal with the fact that the mother is someone that he can't stand.
And violated him.
It also interferes with the woman he's currently with. So, yeah, it's all...
And to be honest, I like that scene because we finally got to hear what Robin thinks about all of this for the first time ever.
And probably the last.
Like, oh my god, they're actually letting Robin talk.
About something that, no. I was going to say about something not involving Regina, but no.
It's better to hear Robin talk than it is to hear her talk. As soon as
That's
she
true.
opened her freaking mouth, I was like, "Are you listening to the words coming out of your mouth?"
Oh my god.
Holy
That
shit!
scene
Talk about
made
being
me
totally
so
not
mad.
self-aware. Talking
Well,
about second chances and blah. I'm like, really? Really?
uh,
I'm
I have
sorry.
no idea what's going on with these writers, but they just make me laugh. I'm not even mad anymore. I just laugh at their pathetic. Like, really? Are
I was
you
like, wow.
self-aware, or are you just that blinded?
I was like, wow, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of the pot beating the shit out of the kettle over on the stove. Because, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That wasn't just not being self-aware. That's comical right there.
Right? I was laughing so much. And then her point about stealing the baby, and I'm like, wow, Regina, stealing another kid? What else is new?
It almost, I know that you don't like her. Okay, I know you guys don't. But as a mom, I understand where she's coming from, that she knows for a fact that to Regina, she is nothing but a vessel. And that once she gives birth to that baby, that she'll lock her up for the rest of her life, and she'll probably never see her child ever again. I can understand why she's fighting so hard to keep that child. That
Oh,
kid
no,
is
I'm not
But
literally-
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. If this, I know it's not the real world, but if it was, Zelina would be in jail for what she did to Robin, and she'd have her kid taken from her anyway, because that kind of behavior does not make you a fit parent. Now, Regina's probably not not much better in the fit parent territory. That you
Yeah,
should
Regina
ideally
was
put the
in
kid
jail
somewhere in
several
a decent
times
home.
over.
But I can't really blame Regina for not wanting this kid to get raised by Zelina, because Zelina's a crazy person.
But so is Regina, and
Exactly.
she got to raise a child, which she shouldn't have, but she got to raise a child, and that child redeemed her, or at least they tell us the child did. So why shouldn't Zelina have the opportunity to get redeemed by child raising, or whatever it is they did with Regina?
I'm sure she will, but that seems to be the way they're going.
I don't think so.
And I don't like it in either scenario. I don't like Regina getting redeemed by Henry, and I don't like Selena getting redeemed by a kid. The whole concept of somebody getting redeemed by having a child kind of disgusts me. But
Yeah, I agree.
You can't really say that Regina would be a better mother than
No.
Selena, considering that Regina hasn't been the greatest mom. I mean, yes, she's been a somewhat decent mother. I mean, because if she wasn't, Henry wouldn't love her as much as he does. But
Well,
still,
I mean,
she's done a lot of crappy things to him at the same time. So she ain't no.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect
Neither
mother either.
Zelena's kid nor Henry should be anywhere near either of the middle sisters in a parental role. Period.
and it's not like, unfortunately, it's not like abused children don't sometimes love their parents anyway.
Yes.
So I don't think saying, "Oh, Henry lost her," means that she was a good mother. Maybe she has become a better mother, like recently, like after the curse broke, and after season 2, she was dreadful in season 2. But then it's like 3 days. Season 3 was they were together after Neverland for 1-2 days before being separated again, and then like 3 weeks in 4B. So she's been a good mother for 2 months, 3 months. I don't know.
Don't forget that she locked her kid out of the house because her boyfriend of 2 days dumped her.
Right, that's
Mhm.
insane that she would
Yep.
refuse to see her child because she broke up with her boyfriend of 3 days.
See, this is what's driving me nuts, and I've seen posts kind of talking about this around. Regina, as much as she loves Robin and the fact I get, she's in a relationship, quasi factor, true love, whatever, blah blah. It really doesn't matter. She's not that child's mother. Therefore, she has no say over who gets to raise that baby. The only person right now, because Zelina is not in mentally capable mode to raise a kid, The only person that has the right to say who gets to raise that child is Robin. Robin is that
Yeah.
child's father. So if he decides that Zelina is allowed to have visitation rights until she gets her shit straight, then that's his choice. If he decides that he doesn't want her to see him or that baby at all because she's too dangerous, that's his choice.
Okay.
Regina,
See, here's the problem.
I think, okay, Robin is a dummy who wants his child to be raised by a mass murderer. I'm talking about Roland with Regina being his new mother, whatever. Let's assume that Robin isn't an idiot, and yeah, he can choose. He can choose to. He can choose to have Zelina have visitation or whatever, but he cannot choose to have Regina be this baby new mother. He can't choose that. He can choose to be a single parent. That's fine with visitation from Zelina, okay, but he can't choose a new mother for his child.
But if
Well,
he marries
actually,
Regina,
technically-
then
technically-
Regina
But he's not
automatically
yet.
becomes.
Technically, if they wanted to do it this way, and only if they could get Zelina to sign her parental rights away, which we both know she would never do. But if they somehow, by some miracle, managed to get her to do so, Regina could adopt the baby and become its legal mother. But Zelina would never, even on pain of death, she would never sign over her.
Okay,
her
let's be
rights,
real for a
like,
second.
at
This
all.
show does not care about legal niceties when it comes
Do they
to
have a
parental
lawyer
crap.
in town?
It was King George was the lawyer,
Okay.
and who knows what happened to him.
Mr.
But anyway,
Gold was a lawyer too, I
And-
think.
and let's
And we
all be
all
real.
know-
Regina wears the pants in the relationship with Robin. If Regina wants to raise that kid, then Robin's pretty much going to go along with it. Let's all be real now.
Well, maybe that's the issues they're going to be working out this season. Because since they just brought it up this past episode, and next episode they're supposed to have Robin, Regina, and Hook together or something,
Ew.
I think, that might be like, they might talk about it more.
They're going to talk about it around Hook.
Well, because Hook knows right now what's bothering Robin, so if, Hook,
I think they're
mistakenly
going
says something and Regina's present,
while they're trying to break into
while they're trying to break
living
into
room.
the house, that could start, a side argument. And
Nah.
Regina's going to be like, what the fuck are you talking to this guy about? So, I could just see it.
Regina, Robin needs a bro. You gotta let
Right.
them have a bro, man.
Because
So
he's not
I-
really saying his real feelings to Regina. He just told Hook what he felt.
Because he's afraid of pissing Regina off.
Well, that's got to stop,
Because
or
he's
this is not
terrible
going
to him.
anywhere.
Not only that,
Regina
but
is scary.
Not only that, but I think that they're going to be way too focused on figuring out what's on the other side of that door to worry about personal squabbles.
Have you
Yeah,
So
seen
the other
this
side
show?
of that door is a little more important.
They're
Have
not
you
gonna
met
fix-
Regina?
I know.
Do you honestly think that when they're trying to break in to her basement that she's going to bring up her sister's baby?
Well, do you
Well,
honestly
she-
think they're gonna actually succeed in breaking in, though?
No.
No.
Then what are they gonna
Who
talk about while
knows?
they fail? So,
It depends on the level of magic
I
that's on the
think
door.
Regina will insult their past as thieves, like about something about breaking in houses being usual to them. Like I'm sure there will be insults.
Oh, I'm
Sure.
looking forward to Hook and Regina snarking at each other.
And more ableism. Because,
So- She'll probably give him some shit for not being able to break into it the first time. When Emma was right there in front of him. So he couldn't have gotten to the door anyway. But that's just how she is. She gives everybody shit. Because she thinks she's the hot shit and the best at everything, and everyone else is beneath her.
Oh my god, the look on Emma's face when Regina says, well, I'll just keep pretending to be the savior. Emma's just looking daggers at her. Like, yo, bitch, just stop. You're not the savior.
That first scene when they're in Merlin's tower, and she asks, do you want me to twitch my nose to make it work? Yes, off-color attempt at the Bewitched show. Okay. But when Regina says, no, you can't use your magic, every time, I don't know if she had the dagger on her or not, but she may have, because every time she talks to her, Emma kind of just slinks back into the corner. Like, she looks so defeated. I
Well,
swear to
because
God,
they robbed her of her identity. The moment Arthur came in, he said Madam Savior, and he was talking to Regina. So
Well,
Emma's entire identity has gotten wrapped up in her being the savior, and now suddenly she's not, and they're all treating her like she's this disease.
Well, what made me mad about that scene is because Regina said, like, you can't use your magic because of your darkness. The previous episode, you asked her to use her magic because of the darkness. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
you can't use
Regina only cares when it
magic
works
because
for
it's dark
Regina.
unless I need it to benefit me.
Yes.
You know?
And
I was like, I
you
want
know
to
what
serve
else?
her.
You know what else pissed me off in that scene is Snow is so busy trying to figure out the problem that she was not there emotionally for her kid, which, it's Snow, so that's par for the course. But really, this is why she hates you.
I can't believe that Snow and Charming haven't tried to talk to Dark Swan yet. I mean,
They're afraid of
what?
her. They're afraid of her.
Anyway, let's talk about Hook and Hammer. I have a question which is long, so please let me finish reading it before giving your opinion. Anonymous says about the scene on the Jolly Roger. I hated how they put all the blame for Mila on Killian. I couldn't stand that line that they made Colin say because it couldn't be further from the truth. Rumpel was and will always be a coward who won't fight for what he wants. It's all on him, not Killian. Another thing I didn't like is the BS where Rumpel can be a hero since his heart is neither dark or light. In my opinion, I think it will be Killian to pull the sword out, not just for Emma. I actually don't agree. I think it was a great line.
I
What
thought,
do you
I
think?
think it was too.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Killian wasn't a villain, but he was a bully. He was a huge bully in that scene.
I mean,
Oh,
frat boy. Let's be real about something. Frat boy Hook is kind of a dick.
Totally and
A
totally.
hot dick, but good.
Complete respect. Completely
And
respect, but still
and Mila, see the situation on the Jolly Roger and the crocodile. Nobody comes out of that looking good. Like, because Rumpel was too cowardly to fight, so he comes out of it looking badly. And he, drove Mila to want to leave him in the first place because he refused to compromise with her. Mila wouldn't tell Rumpel herself that she was leaving him. She made Killian play the bully and villain for her. So Killian's a bully, Mila's a coward, and so's Rumpel. So no one comes out of it looking good.
But the fact is, what that line was trying to demonstrate was that although Killian lost himself to darkness for a very long time, he wanted to change, and he changed for himself.
And he
became
grew up.
a better man. All that Rumpel did was take that darkness in him and use it to get revenge on everybody that ever did wrong to him. So he hadn't changed for the better. This is what makes me so mad. Everyone is all saying that that Rumpel is the bad person, but Killian, I've seen this shit going on around that Killian only changed because of Emma and to get in her pants. I'm like, no, look. It might be true that Regina changed because of Henry, and Rumpel attempts is not even a strong enough word.
He half-heartedly.
Half-heartedly for Balefire and for Belle. But the reason why Killian's redemption arc is so successful, not only for the fact that he is the most self-aware person on the fucking show, is also for the fact that he didn't just change for Emma. Even everyone was so sure that when she went dark, he was going to go right straight dark too.
Cough,
He
Natalie
has
Abrams
not.
cough.
He has not, because he has changed, not just for her, but for himself. He wanted this for himself. That is what makes his arc perfect.
Well, you heard him
others
talk
had-
to. You heard him
guarantee
talk to.
you, if the others lost what they think keeps them good, like their driving force, like Belle or Neil or Henry, then they immediately go to this dark place. But even though Emma is technically like gone, because he sees her as gone because the dark one is there, that doesn't mean that he's gone to that dark place. He's still fighting.
Yep, is what makes Anastasia's redemption are also beautiful because she also changed for herself, not just for anyone else. But now, remember her? Remember
Yes.
her, right? Remember her?
Yes. We
Okay,
remember
so
Anastasia.
since we are talking about that scene on the Jolly Roger, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I loved you.
Oh
So
my god, I
what
was
did you
so
think?
proud.
Well, obviously he doesn't love the darkness. Because if he said, I love you to the darkness, it means I love
Emma
you
would
the
have
way
no
you
reason
are.
to change.
Exactly.
But let's talk about how Jane defended that on Twitter too.
Jane is my queen. My queen.
Yes.
Like, the majority of the Captain Swans fucking lost their shit because they think, like, how could he say that he doesn't love her? Isn't he supposed to love every part of her, the good
No,
and,
that wasn't. That
and the
most
bad?
Okay, wait a minute. Most genuine, real, honest to goodness, non-nervous Nelly Captain Swan shippers were like me, and we're so fucking proud of Killian that they couldn't see straight. The people who were poo-pooing it and saying that he doesn't love her enough were crazy Rumbell people and crazy Swan Queen people who are just like, well, he doesn't love her because he needs to love the darkness too in order to
It's like, that's
properly
not
true
gonna
love
work.
her. And I'm like, are you even listening to yourselves? Have you watched this show for 4 years? Belle tried that, and it
She-
didn't work.
Yeah, I don't want the relationship to end up like that for 5 seasons. Where he's in a coma and she is hanging onto a rose petal. Yeah, let's have that.
Belle
he's-
said it herself. She lost herself in trying to make Rumpel into a good person. Killian cannot and will not do that. He sees Emma as, a person like a modern day drug addict who needs to be shaken straight, And
If he had said that he loved her and that, yes, you're different, you're better, blah, 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 then he, for the most part, becomes Belle, because that's what she was doing. She was enabling him.
yes.
And if he had done that, he would be enabling her. What most of these fans don't understand is Killian understands more than anybody the dichotomy between the darkness and who the person truly is. He is the only one in that whole town that knew Rumpel before he was consumed. No one else did. He's the only one that saw the difference and what that darkness truly does to you.
And that is also the reason why Emma was even there in the first place, to take advantage of that very fact, because Killian is literally the only person who would be in possession of something that Rumpel touched before he was...
That's why she brought it up.
So for all
Yeah,
of
that's
saying
exactly
that,
why she brought it
that
up.
He should love her even if she's dark, why can't, because Belle loved Rumpel even with him. Okay, no, hold on a second. Belle fell in love with Rumpel after he became the Dark One. She never knew who he used to be. I wonder if she had ever met him when he was still just Rumpel, what she would have thought of him. If she
We're
would
about to
still
find
have
out.
fallen for him the
We're about
same
to
way.
find out.
Honestly, the more appropriate comparison is Rumpel and Balefire.
Yeah.
Yes, because Rumpel, Balefire, never stopped loving his father, but his love was for his father, not the Dark One.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that turned out.
Yeah, he tried to get Rumpel to give it up and go to another world, and Rumpel said,
Was like,
fuck
no.
that.
Every time his father did something nasty, whether it was crushing somebody like a bug under his boot or killing the maid that worked at the house so she wouldn't talk, he never supported that. He wanted his father to be his father. He didn't want the Dark One. That's what Killian's trying to do with Emma. He sees that she is not Emma in that scene. She is the darkness. And he's not going to support her games and her bullshit.
There was 1.5 seconds of Emma in that scene. When she says, I loved you, you see Emma reverse service for like 5 seconds, and then she leaves.
The ship's yours. Her voice cracked.
Actually, there was a little bit before that when she tried to bring up the whole, do you remember how I taught you how to sword fight?
That pissed me off so much. I wanted to smack her.
And then he kind of flinched, and he's like, no, I'm not going to play your game. She kind of like shrunk back because she didn't think he was going to get so upset. And you could see for that little quick second there that it kind of hurt her that he recoiled.
And see,
From-
this is getting into theories a little bit, but if this is Emma playing a very long con trying to defeat the darkness, she is hurting her family in the process, and they have no idea.
No, I
And
don't
it's
think
gonna make it so much worse when she's better.
No, I don't think it's a long con, honestly.
This is what I don't understand. This is the one like burning question for me is why take away the memories? I do not understand this. If they betrayed you so deeply, wouldn't you want them to remember?
Well, I don't think she cast a curse.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting to wonder if she was responsible for this. And
she's
I
just
don't-
taking credit for it.
I don't know if we're talking yet about the interviews that she did at Comic-Con, but her saying that a lot of what she's doing has to do with her love for Hook makes me really think that something may have happened to him and she couldn't stop it, or they wouldn't let her. They wouldn't let her because they didn't want her to use her magic, and he got hurt or something, and then she just lost her shit.
Well, he appeared perfectly fine when they landed at Granny's.
Unless, they told her to do this. Pretty much cast the curse.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That maybe Merlin's got his own agenda, and he uses Emma for his agenda to destroy the darkness once and for all.
But you mean it's Merlin's plan, or I meant like that everybody in the Storybook crew was on board with this. They knew that they were going to lose their memories because they had to play the part of Emma being dark to get to eliminate the darkness and eliminate Arthur. They had
as many times as they've lost their memories. I don't know. I just don't know.
All we know for sure is that a heart was definitely crushed to cast this curse.
Yeah.
Somebody's heart was crushed. Whether it was Emma that did it or not is still in question. Whose heart it was is still in question.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables we don't have yet.
But if she only became dark because she had no other choice, I mean, you have to. All I can say for certain in my gut is that what Regina's doing in Camelot is going to push her over the edge.
Yeah.
Because this continuously controlling her, even if Regina feels like she's not doing it in the wrong way, like I know that she sees it in a different light, like I'm trying to keep her safe. Emma doesn't see it like that. Emma sees it that she's taken over her title. She's become someone she's not. She's stripped her of her identity, of her agency. She's controlling her. And I think that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty in that last moment, something's going to happen that Emma wants to fix, but Regina won't let her. And whatever it is so massive that it makes her lose her shit. That she gets so tired of Regina's garbage that she just crosses over the line.
Honestly, Emma helps me.
But I have a question. Why bring all these magical items to Storybrooke if she doesn't want to be cured? Like that book that Regina found that was Merlin's book.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But she didn't cast the curse, so she has no decision on whether she brought it or not.
But I think
there's that. Or it's a long, like I said, it's a long con. Emma's doing this on purpose. She's trying to gain the, because every time we see the darkness, it's Rumple doing his little creepy laugh and stuff. That she's trying to I don't know, gain its trust long enough to destroy it because it's trying to be free.
Right.
Or maybe Emma's the one that's dropping these clues in a veiled attempt to get them to remember.
Well, yeah, because the mushroom, Charming found the mushroom again. The book is still in Storybook. The sword is over here. I don't know what else is. I mean, the items in the chest that Arthur had.
We don't know what Marilyn Fox face is.
So, and the dream catchers apparently come over too.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe Emma's slowly leaving them clues.
Yeah. I mean, if she wanted to keep staying dark, she would not bring those items with her.
I mean, a big tip off that something wasn't right was in episode 2 when Killian begged her to tell him what it was that they did, and she was like, "I wish I could."
Yeah.
If she was able to, wouldn't she just say it?
And
unless she was commanded not to.
And she kept saying on the boat, she kept saying, trust. Trust me.
She said
trust
it way
me.
too many times.
She said it way too many times that you're like, what the heck?
Well, part of me like, and part of me could be like, either she was manipulating him because trust is a big part of the relationship. Like it's one of the biggest motifs in Captain Swan's history. Trust.
Well, it's
been there
also there's also the theory that she's testing him. That if he is ultimately the hero to pull the sword out of the stone, that he needs to pass like 3 tests or something, and that he's he didn't. The true love's kiss didn't work, and he walked away. And this time he pushed her away. Maybe there's another one. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be, back to that question Serena asked about, like, the anonymous question about, like, is he going to be the one to pull the sword out? I don't think so, because look at how the episode ended, where she's making Rumpel pull the sword out.
But it's Rumpel.
But I think that's, like, weird. That's
But
not,
that's what I'm saying. It's not going to work. Rumpel's a coward.
No, but I think she wants it to work for not what we think, not to make him a hero.
Well, that's the only way to pull it out, though.
According
to why she is.
Whoa. Why did Merlin say not to pull it out to Emma, who is kind of a hero, though?
But she's not now. She's a villain right now.
She was when she was a little girl. She was okay.
No, okay, Shannon, here. Okay, she said not to pull it out, but he was probably meant about right now. Like, Dark Emma should not pull it out. Emma could, but Dark Emma can't. And Dark Emma shouldn't.
Well, I don't know.
And she can't get Arthur to do it now because now Arthur's Shady McShaderson. So he's too far down the villain rabbit hole to pull it out himself. So they need somebody else. And with Rumpel being the blank slate, the darkness manipulates her into thinking Rumpel's the answer, or she's playing along with the darkness, thinking Rumpel's the answer. But Rumpel's a coward, and Eddie said that Rumpel still has his memories. He has 300 years of wisdom, so he's not powerless. I mean, we all know Rumpel without his power is just as scary as Rumpel.
Well, according
with his
to
power.
Eddie and Adam, they said that Rumpel right now is like 50-50. He's like 50% coward and 50% sort of dark one.
Mr. Gold. He's
Mr. Gold. Yeah, he's kind of both kind of mishmash, but where he goes, where he takes that, really kind of, because he's a blank slate right now, at least heart-wise, depends on what Emma plans to do with him. Is she really going to try to make him this purest of the pure hero, pull the sword out of the stone?
Based on today's spoilers.
Yeah, based on today's spoilers, I don't think so.
What disturbed me even more was the quick scene that they had in Granny's. Belle went in there to get some lunch before she went back to go check on Rumpel, and Granny didn't even have the chance to give her the soup with her sandwich before she fucking takes off because the rose is starting to reform. I'm like, something this is a vision of how toxic this relationship is. This woman is willing to starve rather than to take care of her.
She also broke another dish. She's breaking.
You know what makes me really mad about that? Because Belle had gotten out. Belle had been like, no, you know what? This was a bad relationship for me. I'm not gaining anything. He's just hurting me, and I lost myself in the process. And now we're back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
How is this strong Belle, like Adam and Eddie said?
I don't know.
Because her mind is completely focused on this stupid rose and him. I mean, yeah.
unless her first reaction when she sees Rumpel again is to knock him upside the head. No,
I don't think so.
I don't think it will.
In Camelot, she was trying to help them to save Emma, but as soon as they got back to Storybrooke, I don't think she's left that shop, like, at all.
No.
Other than to get food. She just sits there by his bedside. I'm like, do you realize you're giving up your entire existence? You just said at the end of 4A that you were tired of losing yourself to this man, and what are you doing now?
But she loves him. She wants to be there if he dies.
I hope he dies.
No, he's not gonna die. They love Robert Carlyle way too much for him to die.
Right.
Well, they better make him a villain again.
Do we have any more questions? Serena?
Yes, so let's go to another question. So, Anonymous wants to know, when do you think Man Candy Merlin will become part of the storyline again?
What the hell, man? This question was made for me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
According
have-
to the writers,
Did
I
she-
believe
did
it's
say man
episode
candy?
5.
What?
Yeah, episode 5.
5.
Yes, finally. Come on. I've
Episode
been
5 is when they
Mario
finally get
deprived
him
for
out of the
2
tree.
episodes.
Yeah. We saw those shooting spoilers.
Yes.
Okay.
I need more Merlin in my life. Sexy Merlin. Please give me my sexy Merlin back.
I think he's in 5, and then he's in it for every episode. I think after that, maybe.
Well, I think
Wait,
at least through 9.
Yeah.
You know this is gonna mean a lot more Merlin comments when there's more Merlin, right? You're all prepared for that.
Merlin is the new Kristoff.
Okay, let's go to another question. So, Anonymous wants to know, so what do you think the spoiler we saw of Emma and Killian riding off on the horse together and the scene with the roses and kisses will be all about? Do you think they are just spending time together, or do you think Killian is taking Emma somewhere to save her from Arthur?
Well, I think based on the sneak peek that we got, that's Killian trying to get her out of the castle to like forget about crazy Rumple following her.
Love that sneak peek.
And I
Yes.
love that she actually tells him. Like,
Yes.
"Oh."
That was the best part.
Because,
I
I
know.
mean, one thing is it could be like her saying it's nothing or something like that, but she actually tells him, I can't get rid of him. He's so
He's
Killian.
here all the time.
So which means if when Killian gets his memory back, he's going to remember about the darkness.
I remember when we first saw these pictures, we were so worried that it was just going to be like a dream sequence and it wasn't going to be real. But we know for sure that it's definitely real. It seems obvious that after that evening where she almost incinerates him with
Well, we never saw
magic.
any like outfits of new. I think that was the first time we saw like the white outfit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that was.
she says to him that she can't stop hearing his quote unquote voice, and I'm guessing he's just taking her out of the castle to take her mind off of things and to try to help her to forget a little and show her a good time and
It's gonna be very romantic.
inject a
Yes.
little romance into her crazy ass life.
I just hope they don't have to have sex, but they can just sleep together. They can do that. I want that.
Take
If we're
her
not
for a
gonna have
ride,
sex,
give
I
her
mean,
a
there is
flower.
no. It doesn't. It feels like if they're gonna have sexy times, it's gonna be this episode because I don't think it's gonna be anything after that.
All I know is that better be some fulfilling shit because I know that from this point until 5-8, we're not going to get anything more like too deep Captain Swan wise as far as in Storybrooke. They're going to.
Well, I mean, we might get our true
Well,
love.
at least not outside. We don't know about indoors.
I think it's going to be mostly other stuff going on
Well, they can do it outside.
until the scene where Killian falls off or attempts to
Jump
kill
off the roof.
himself in order to.
He's not
get
trying to
her
kill himself.
attention. He's only doing it to get her attention because he knows that she'll never let him die.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a question from Ro, and it says, I just wanted to say the charming Arthur bromance needs to die in a fire.
Yes.
Arthur is shady, and I want Charming to find out so he, his mate Killian, and Snow can team up to protect Emma. Dark Swan trying to act like normal Emma chills. All the awards to JMO for her performance. The I loved you scene doesn't worry me. We might get angst, but we always get our payoff. Captain Swan will be fine. News of Killian's death being introduced has me excited.
Yes.
Love the Emma Charming photos. Dwarfs are whiny and stupid.
For a second, I was wondering if Leroy got turned into the Dark One.
Speaking of most annoying scene in the episode, Leroy, I don't give a fuck about your axe, dude. You'll get it back later. Leave them alone.
Well, he's not getting it back now. Emma destroyed it. Oops.
But I mean,
What?
for him to go off on them like that, stop being a scared parent, stand up and do something. It's like, don't you think they want to?
Well,
Leroy.
on his behalf, he said something they needed to hear. Stop sitting around and go do something, which is what they needed to hear, basically, because they were sitting around moping.
But what
Moping
can they
doesn't
do?
get you nowhere. You can try to do something, anything. Think of things to do. You
Although
stop moping.
Killian seems to be the only one who's trying to do stuff.
Exactly, like stop moping.
Well, and they were.
around.
I mean, they found the book. They found the book that Regina marked. How did Regina know that that question mark was her handwriting?
I know. It was like the worst clue ever.
Seriously.
It doesn't
Great
take
words.
very good notes at all.
Okay, and I'm gonna say something about the, I know, Charming, that you're blinded by the bromance, but he will soon realize that Arthur is shady, and that Killian is his one true bro.
Well, they'll have to make room for Robin.
Well, you saw the next week's episode promo stills. You see Snow and Charming, and you saw his face in that promo still. He's like so upset. He's like, "Bro, no, what happened?" And I'm there for it.
Robin has a Regina on the mind like 98.7. So I don't think he really counts because he doesn't have a thought of his own that doesn't involve Regina.
But he can't get a thought that doesn't involve Regina if he doesn't hang out with some dudes. He
But
needs
here's
friends.
the thing. Okay, and I'm gonna say something. Who the fuck is taking care of
Roland?
Roland,
Because
Zelina probably.
Robin's always in that granny.
I don't know where. I haven't seen
Well-
his little Camelot outfit at all.
Little John.
Little
I would
John
imagine
takes care
that-
of Roland.
No, he didn't come over. He didn't
Oh,
go
well,
to
yes, he did.
Camelot? I
the
have no
Camelot. No, he
idea.
didn't.
Yes, he did. He was
No,
there.
he
Roland did, yeah.
No,
Roland was there.
no. You said Little John.
Well, I meant Little John's taking care of Roland in Storybrooke.
Well, who's taking care of him in Camelot? We haven't seen him in Camelot.
I would
It's
imagine
Camelot.
that-
I'm sure they have servants.
Probably
But here's
Granny.
the thing. I mean, well, if so, then Little John is a much better father than Robin because Robin doesn't give a two shits about his son.
Yeah, he's
Probably-
moping over a phone, and I don't see where Roland is.
It's probably Granny that's looking after them because he typically does the looking after. She typically does the looking after the kids. I think
And
she's
why
looked
does-
after Neil more than Snowing has looked after Neil.
Why does Robin and the Merry Men Robin in particular, why does he still live in the forest?
Because they want to.
Because it's
They
what
want to-
it's what they know. It's what they're used to. And they probably don't have any money to, get their own places.
Well, it's not
But
like
Hook-
Rumple owns the town anymore. He's in a coma.
Hook's
And
living.
you know what? His girlfriend can get him a place. I mean,
Hmm.
she's got magic.
Well, Robin could just move in. Regina's got that big old
Or he
mansion.
can move into Granny's like Hook did.
Well,
Eh.
Hook now apparently is back on the Jolly Roger.
Is he?
Looks like.
Well, all he did was it just said meet him at a ship. It didn't say he's staying there.
Are you on a podcast?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, well.
Almost done.
But the thing about Killian's dad and baby Killian, yes.
Oh my God, I
Thank
need
you.
it.
And we're getting it this arc. I mean, we're getting it this
We're getting it in the
half-
finale to this
Yeah!
arc, which means it plays a role in the next one. Hallelujah.
Okay,
Well,
speaking of
here's the thing.
speaking
I'm
of
still not gonna believe until I see the casting. Because they promised things like that so many times.
can you guys just iron out one thing for me because I'm so over this bullshit confusion because this happened last year and like every media outlet online got the numbering wrong because apparently it is too difficult for them to understand that a 2-hour episode is just that, a 2-hour episode, not 2 episodes in a fucking hour.
No. Well, no, it's not 2 episodes in an hour, but it is, in this case, it is 5:08 and 5:09 back to back.
Just like last year.
Has this actually been confirmed? Because
Yes.
all I saw All I saw, Adam's tweet said a 2-hour episode. That's it.
Because it's going to air in a 2-hour block. It's just like 321 and 322. That was a 2-hour episode, but it was two episodes smushed together.
Yes, I know, but when they did that, Adam was very specific, and he said that it would be 321.
Well, he confirmed that they're filming 310 right now, which is Broken Hearts. 311 is going to be
the winter finale.
And he said that.
And 512 is the 100th episode. And I was right. I just like to point out I was right that they're going by production numbers, which makes 512 the 100th episode.
So there are... Because during Comic-Con, Eddie said that there was only going to be 10 episodes for the first half.
Because it's 10 weeks.
It is. Yeah.
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
10 weeks, but 11 episodes.
Yes, and they take that week off at Thanksgiving for the stupid music awards.
Okay, I just want to be sure because during the finale time frame, Adam's always been very specific. When he says that it's 2 separate episodes airing back to back, that's what he tweets. 321.
Well, that's why they filmed. That's what they filmed 508 and 509 together because they needed to get them edited and put together in time to air on the same night.
But then when he also says, like last year when they did 408 as a 2-hour episode, he was specific and he said it was a 2-hour episode. So I just wanted to be sure.
At that point they got the order after they had already written that episode, so they just added an hour to it, but the production numbers stayed the same. It was just one.
Everybody was tagging the wrong number episode after that, and it was driving me crazy.
Yes, it was making me nuts.
It was driving me nuts. Every online news rag and every place where you can find links had it all wrong, and I even went on and I tried to tell them what all it was, and they were like, "You're wrong," and blah blah. Like, oh my god, how hard is it to understand that a 2-hour episode is a 2-hour episode?
So they're gonna probably have it again. They're gonna do it again probably. So prepare yourselves for that wronging of tags.
So Daddy Hook and Little Hook, is gonna be in 510.
And they're 511.
511.
Maybe the end of 510.
So Hook's father.
Well, 510 is Broken Heart. We don't have a title for 511 yet. We won't get it until a couple days before they start to shoot it.
I hope it's something piratey.
Remember there's that whole theory that my whole theory that Killian's dad is Charon, aka Davy Jones.
Oh, I thought you said they're having
as long as the actor can kill a pirate, I want that.
Well, we don't know. He has two small. They're Barbie baby Liam. If there is not wee Liam, I'm gonna be really pissed.
Oh yes, most definitely. There must be a wee Liam
because
somewhere.
This will probably be, Daddy Jones with his sons, and we might see him actually leave them on the ship.
You know what I want?
Don't give me that.
Okay, guys, let me talk. You know what I want more than Daddy Jones? I want Mama Jones. I want to know what happened to his mom. I want to know what happened to her.
Yes.
If possible, I want to see her.
I think we're gonna find out in 5B.
I want to find out what happened to her. More interested than in the asshole that abandoned him.
I think we'll find out in 5B.
All I have to say about this backstory, because I know that Adam also said that Regina was going to get some Evil Queen story. We have waited 3 years for this backstory. I swear to Jesus, if her shit takes over his story and he gets like 2 scenes and that's it, I'm going to flip a fucking table.
Yeah, I did not understand this whole Regina and Hook, adventure. It was Regina, it's Evil Queen and Hook adventure thing. I don't get this.
Does anybody be his backstory? Let it fucking be his backstory.
No, but they said Evil Queen, and Evil Queen means past, so I don't understand.
Well, that's what I've been trying to say. That Papa Jones is not just a mortal dude. That he is the dude who ferries people to the underworld. He's Charon. He's Davy Jones. He's the dude who ferries people to the underworld.
What has that to do with Evil Queen?
Regina's boyfriend is dead. She's trying to get him back. Why would she not try to storm the underworld to get Daniel back? And why would she not enlist Hook in her scheme to get her boyfriend back from the dead?
But Killian didn't know her.
She tried every other way to get him back from the dead.
But the way But the way the timeline works, there was no time for that because they met in one episode and they separated in another episode. She wanted to specifically send him to Wonderland, and then she came back from Wonderland, and then they went with
Okay,
Cora into the forest. Where did the time they met?
This is the same show that inserted Snowing's weird secret with the egg in the middle of their adventure.
But where?
We don't know. We don't know how
insert
long.
that.
We don't know how long Hook was in Wonderland.
You cannot.
Okay.
This you cannot flub. When he broke into her castle to get to Belle, that was literally the first time that Regina and he had ever met. She had heard of him because his reputation is that caustic. She had, of course, heard of him because he did back and forth from the Enchanted Forest to there doing Pan's business. But he had never met her up until that point. And then after he went to Wonderland to kill Cora, and that didn't work, and he made the deal with Cora, and then came back and blah, blah, blah. Right after that, shortly after that, Regina cast the curse, and Hook, along with everyone else in that little island, was frozen for 28 years until Emma broke the dark curse.
Yeah, so where does it come in?
It makes no sense.
I don't know.
Unless they have an adventure and they forget about it with memory potions again, and that's how they do it.
No.
Well, you don't, because there's no way to explain with the timeline how they had an adventure.
Let's all be real for a second. They are not the world's best keepers of the timeline. There are 2 plot holes involving Hook this season already. One plot hole was with the potion on his hook. And the second plot hole was in this episode that the sword that Emma took is not the sword that he threatened Rumple with. The sword he used to threaten Rumple was the one he had as a lieutenant. The cutlass she took was Mila's cutlass that Killian used after Rumple took his sword.
Now that was definitely a foobar right there. Because I remember when Rumple came onto the ship to try to get Mila back. The sword that Killian touched him with was his own personal sword, the one that he'd had since he was in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And then when Rumple and he fought after he became the Dark One, Rumple stole that sword and gave him that rusted-ass sword, which broke. And then after Mila died, he took Mila's sword. That was the cutlass that he showed that Emma stole. So I don't know how the hell...
It's a plot hole. They forgot.
They put a retcon this year to include Regina in his backstory.
Guys, we still have 3 questions to answer, and it's been 1 hour. Okay, let's get through the last question. Hooked and Killian for Life 28 wants to know, do you think Emma and Killian will have any kind of talk about her saying I love you to him? Do you think it will be in the next episode to parallel the scene on the Jolly Roger for the last episode?
Possibly.
I think they could say it in the next episode.
In Camelot?
Yeah.
Probably. If they're gonna, I mean, if this is Captain Swan's big romantic episode in Camelot, then I think it's gonna either come up directly or indirectly.
Agree.
Okay, next question. There's some noise. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's from you, Lisa?
No, I'm wearing headphones.
Yeah.
Well, we can hear it's coming through your mic.
Yeah, it's coming through your mic, Lisa.
It's probably the kids.
Okay, next question. Anonymous wants to know, I don't like this theory that Killian and Emma are sharing a heart. I thought it was dumb the first time I saw it, and sure don't want it to happen again. I would like them to have their own hearts. I think that's not the case though, but I wonder what she used to cast the curse. What do you think?
Take a hiatus from that for a second.
What do you think about the theory that they are sharing a heart?
I
hate that theory. It needs to die in a fire. Yeah, it's a terrible theory. It needs to die. Just stop.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't like it when Snowing. Lisa, we kind of are hearing all your private business.
Yeah. Okay.
Say that today. Say that tomorrow.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been trying to mute her, but it doesn't work. So
Oh, God. That doesn't work. Oh, God.
Are you talking about me?
yes, we are here in all your private business right now. So it will be on YouTube. So it's
Oh,
a bit
sorry.
awkward.
We were trying to whisper. Sorry.
It's not working.
You should probably mute your mic until you're done.
All right, dear.
We're all done. We're all done.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's a bullshit theory when snowing happened because it was like, really? That makes no sense.
Well,
No,
I mean,
Swan, it
it's
even makes less sense.
It's snowing. Okay, it's snowing, so I didn't mind it when snowing did it because otherwise Charming would be dead and that would be awful.
No.
But here's the thing: snowing by the time they did it had 2 True Love's kisses. We haven't even had one. And number 2, for the love of God, JMO said that Emma is still the savior, and part of the thing that makes Emma the savior is the fact that her heart can't be taken. So as far as we know, that is still in place. So it's physically impossible.
Unless she takes it out herself.
And we don't even know if she can because she's never tried.
Well, we know. No, that's the question. That's the number one.
That's the question. We don't
speculation.
know if she can. I don't think she can.
Okay, let's do the last question. Anonymous says, according to Jen, Emma is still the savior. Do you think she's playing a long con with the darkness in her head and everything she's been doing has been to save the one she loves? Jamo also said that what she does is because of Hook, so I think that's likely.
Well, she didn't say everything. She said a lot of what she's doing is because of Hook. I mean, JMO chooses her words very particularly. So not everything she's doing is because of Hook, guys.
Nope. Emma's life does not revolve around Hook. It revolves around Emma. Hook's a big part of it, yes, but so are Henry's or her parents. People, remember that she is shippers, because you sometimes forget it.
And I think it is entirely possible that she's playing a long con on the darkness.
Yeah, that's
There's
all I
too
can.
many-
That's all I can think about. Like, I don't think that they did something so horrible to her that she went completely dark.
If she is, she's being pretty
like,
nasty about it. I'll say that.
Yeah, but
Well,
I mean,
that's the thing, that the darkness is expecting her to be like absolutely terrible. Like she has to play into it.
that's what I think. That's the only way I can see this, because it has to. I want it to turn her around and she become the savior. I don't want Rumpel or Regina or anybody. I want her to save herself, and this is how she's saving herself.
And that she's waiting until she's aware that True Love's kiss will work, but she needs it. She needs something to happen first before she can do it.
The reason why she doesn't want that True Love's kiss didn't work there is because she didn't want it to work there. She doesn't want it to be solved until she solved this other problem that she has.
Yes, that's what I think. That's increasingly becoming likely.
That's what I think. Which I like. I like that theory. I know it's going to hurt like a bitch later because she's been playing them, but I think everybody, once they get their memories back, they're going to remember that they planned this, maybe. If they all were in on it. Maybe.
Well,
and
I don't know about them being in on it, but Killian
actually,
might have been.
That's a good point. It's the only reason I could see for her to wipe everybody's memories, so that the darkness or whatever it is won't know that they all made this plan together. That's
she's hurting them.
Sense.
Yeah, so that's it.
Okay, so
sorry.
No.
We didn't mention about Guinevere in the next promo shot that she's wearing that gondolet thing again too.
The what?
I think actually
the glove,
that adventure
the magical
between
glove.
Lancelot.
Oh.
I think the adventure between Guinevere and Lancelot is.
No.
I think it's a flashback to when their romance first started. Like they went
but I
on
wonder
an
what
adventure,
doing with it on her hand.
He fell in love with her, and
maybe she's trying to get it to help her decide which one she loves more.
And she realized that she made a mistake, and Lancelot left because he couldn't keep being a knight and not be able to be with her, so he left and she went back to her husband. But I don't know if y'all noticed, but the outfit she's wearing is the same one that Jack wore in
Yes, it
season
is.
2. So apparently Eduardo likes to recycle his outfits.
That's okay.
Oh.
Unless
They have
it
a
comes to
lot of
Regina, she always gets a new outfit.
Well, I mean, they had an enchanted forest mall, and they had a bunch of these. Like, I bet people had the same costume. It's like just different stuff.
Honestly,
I mean, seriously, Hook's can be wearing the same costume all
I
through
know.
Camelot. It's making me crazy.
If you look
It's
at the
okay.
outfit,
It's a nice costume. I like it.
Well, I mean, I like it, but some variety would be nice.
I deeply love that we're getting more Guinevere and Lancelot time. Yes, yes,
I just want more Lancelot time.
yes. But
Oh my God, Mine!
that's
You
a
weren't here
possess.
last week, but did you see the Instagram picture of him Mr. Lancelot that he posted
I think so.
with his tank top?
Yes.
Okay, so since we're starting to talk about Instagram pictures and it's late, I think we can end this podcast now.
And I hope we get more Merlin soon.
coming.
Or else I'm gonna go crazier than usual.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
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 Happy October.